Good morning. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm just about ready to get started on my commission drawing here for today. All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, good. Thank you for the sound check there, up and coming. Appreciate that. All right. A little bit of focus here on the forehead and skin. Darken things up a little bit. Turn this music down. Okay, there we go. I don't have to compete so much with that. All right, let's see. I'm going to start off with an HB here just to get my bearings as to how dark I need to go. Give me a point on it. All right. For those who want to know, this particular pencil is a Tombow Mono HB. I'm using it until I use it up, and then I'll use some other brand. So it's not like it's a recommended brand or anything. Anyway, I need to start darkening things up a little bit here on the face and see where I am in the scope of things. See if this HB is going to do it for me. I'm kind of using the side of the point. I'm not, in these little round ovals that I like to do for the skin, just to make sure I don't miss anything. It gives nice skin texture. Nobody has, except babies, have super smooth skin. So I like a little texture, and I get that if I do these little tiny ovals with the pencil, and then I blend it out, I'll get a little more texture, and that's more conducive of a man's face. Then I'll touch up as I go. Let's see what kind of tone I can get here compared to the reference. Good morning, Letitia. Good to see you. It's kind of a quiet Monday for me today. Everybody's home from work for the most part. If you got one of those 9 to 5 jobs, and you get the day off, I figure, well, I might as well kick it on the drawing table since I don't usually have a lot of time. But today I have time on my hands. It's either this or watching TV. I don't want to waste my time watching a bunch of TV. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that HB. That HB is looking good. Now, when I blend it, it's going to lighten up a bit, no doubt. But I'm liking this. This is good. I like to get a little contrast going. I think I need a new Q-tip. Let me get a new Q-tip here. Oh, thank you, Letitia. I appreciate that. Yeah, I never watched Wendy Williams. Not that I have anything against her. I just don't know anything about her. I don't watch any of those shows anyway. I don't have live TV service. I watch videos and news and stuff, you know. I got a Roku, so, you know, I could watch old movies and whatever, you know. All right, so, you know, as I'm blending here, you can see that, you know, I'm getting it on the cotton swab, so it's coming off the paper, which is fine. I got a little texture here. I like that. I like that. It's a nice byproduct is get a little rough texture going there. Makes for a more realistic drawing. I'm going to put a little bit down here because it's so white underneath here, and then I can darken everything else. I'm kind of going off the rails here just a little bit, and then I'll get back on the forehead again. But see, that's one of the ways you just don't get bored drawing is you just don't focus on one thing. If you're getting a little bored, go do something. Go to a different area of the drawing. Okay, now I'm back on the forehead again. Yada, yada, yada. And as I do this, you know, I can see things that I need to do. I can see that I need to darken this area right here, which I'm going to come in here and darken this all up. And then that's going to make this look lighter. So I'll probably have to darken this a little bit, but not as dark as here. And then it's going to lighten here, and I may already be too dark here, so I may have to lighten up, and then I'll know what to do for the rest of the skin here, which has all this light on it. And then over here, it's a little more shaded here in this area, so I'll come over here and I'll darken this to be a little bit darker in here. So everything is about tone and making sure. Now see, I got a little bit of my charcoal on them here, and then I just smeared it onto the face here, so you got to watch out. I'm sitting here yapping, and already I'm starting to give me a little bit of trouble here. So easy to pick up. I'm picking most of it up with the Q-tip, and then I could just get my eraser and go in there and take care of that. Okay, this paper here. Hold on a second, and I'll let you know. Okay, this one here is it's a smooth Bristol. I like it. I buy Canson, or you know, Strathmore is fine too. You know, it's all the same stuff. And this one's 100 pounds. Okay, there you go. You see, when you go a little darker, see, then you start getting into more realistic look. When things are so pale white, then it gets looks more drawing, cartoonish, whatever. So that's why I like to go a little darker with my drawings to bring out more realism. Now, first off, what I want to do is I need to darken this area up right here. So it's darker here than it is here, so I need to bring this out darker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try out this 10B pencil here. It's a graphite pencil, 10B. And if that doesn't do it for me, I'll go in with maybe a charcoal or the 9XXB and go that route. But I'm going to go graphite first. That's what I'm attempting to do most of this in graphite. Now I need to get this all darker here. One of the things with graphite that I just worry about when I'm going dark is I don't want graphite shine. So you have to be real careful when you're going dark with graphite. Okay, but this is coming out good, so I'm going to go with this for a little bit and see what happens. Now, I'll definitely go with a 9XXB or an EE Mars 100 for this area right here. Um, that's charcoal or 9xxb type stuff, carbon pencils, because I do need this to get a little darker compared to the reference photo I have here. And then the surrounding areas is graphite. You just kind of experiment. I mean, if you don't like something, you can erase it as long as, notice that I'm not pressing on the paper. I'm holding it in the back and I'm letting the pencil glide on the paper so I can take this off if I don't like what I see here. All right. Now I have a zone here that's got to be really dark. And I'm debating whether to do it with this or to maybe get in my 9xxb here. It doesn't look like it's quite 9xxb stuff. I'm going to hold off for a second there. And just try to get it in between my little hairs here, little white hair. You need to constantly look at your reference photo as you go, and your eye hand coordination should help you move your pencil in the right direction. The more you do this, the easier it becomes. So obviously, practice, practice, practice. Draw often. So my eyes are going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You can't see me doing that. All you can see is my pencil in the drawing, but that is what's happening. Is I'm darting my eyes back and forth, and it's guiding me as to where I want to apply this 10B pencil here. I don't want to get too crazy, so that's why I have to keep looking to make sure that I'm not going off track. Okay, I'm going to darken this a little bit here. These are little birthmarks or whatever they call them. Make sure that those don't disappear with my drawing here. Okay, so that's still okay. The point of the eyebrow is here, so I notice there's a mark about right here. I'll go ahead and just stick that in for now, and if it blends out a little bit, I'll put it back in again. Not a biggie. All right, there we go. So you start looking at the details, start getting some of your details in. They'll blend out, you put them back in again. Now from here to here, angle from here to here. See, I'm eyeballing all this. I didn't do this in my initial sketch because I knew that I can come in here and just eyeball it and figure out where a lot of these details have got to go. So there's one there, and just right here's another one. Very lightly put that in. If it comes in too dark, I'll blend it out. It's not a big deal. And another one here, which comes straight across from there. Okay, good. Just want to get some of the details in. There's a light mark right here, so I want to get some of that in. See, I could do this now, I could do this later. I like to do it as I'm thinking about it, and then I'll come back later and redo it, because likely I'll end up blending it out. This right here, this angle right here is a little one here. So I got this 10B pencil, might as well take advantage of it. Get some of these things in there. Yeah, you certainly do not want to put pressure any real pressure on your pencil whatsoever if you want to have the ability to take it off. Okay, let's see here. Now, that was a 10B, and I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to kind of blend it, smooth it out a little bit, and it's going to end up lightening a little bit. That's not a big deal. But I don't want a rough pencil texture. I kind of like the smoother blended texture. That lets me use my details of the pencil to give it the texture look rather than having a non-blended pencil do it. Okay, I can come over here with these marks I made. See, they get a little lighter. So I'll probably have to come in there a little later and readjust again. I don't want them to be predominant and come out because that's not what I see on the reference photo. This here, what I'm doing is kind of blending it from the dark into the light a little bit so you don't have this demarcation. It's much more gradual. But his skin's a little bit patchy as far as the photograph is concerned. It's a little on the patchy side. And I got to duplicate what I see, so I'm going to make sure that it has some patchiness here so that it's more of a photographic look. Get into the hairlines here a little bit. Okay. Now I want to get that dark area in here. So I just used the 10B. I have to go darker than a 10B. I can go 12B, but it's not really going to make that much of a difference from a 10B. So now I got to get into my carbon charcoal type pencils. I have a couple of choices. I could use this EE, which I only recently started using it thanks to a subscriber on my channel in India. He suggested this pencil. I gave it a try, did a review on it, and I really like it. It's really good. Or it's like I could use this 9XXB. It really doesn't matter. They're both pretty much the same kind of pencil. But this is going to give me a little more dark, this type of pencil. I could go with a charcoal, but I don't want to. I want to kind of stay with a graphite charcoal mix. Now over here, I need to get this particular dark area going. So I'm just going to keep moving my eyes back and forth from the reference photo. Hopefully I won't go off track or change the proportions in any way. I'm pretty sure that I'm gauging the distances correctly, and if not, of course, I can take it off. See, this pencil will write on the graphite really well. Charcoal won't write on smooth graphite very well, but this is a hybrid pencil, so now I'm gauging how far is this mark from these white hairs. Okay, I got to make sure I have these white hairs correct. So let me stop here for a second. And I'll keep yapping as I'm doing this. Hopefully you guys can get a lot of benefit from my my constant blah blah blah. You get my thought process here. It's not necessarily the right way or only way. This is just the Rick's way. But I'm going to come in here and I just want to get a gauge as to how far this white hairs are from the actual edge of the hair here, so I get everything gauged, and it looks like I got it right. So I'm just gonna pretty much leave that where it is. Maybe I'll just come in here and I'll just kind of address it a little bit because I had blended some of it out. I'm using a Tombow Mono Zero eraser here. And here's another thing I haven't done yet with this drawing, but this is low tack frisket paper, okay? And what I'll do is, for example, I'll just take my scissors and I'll cut a piece off. Like this. This is I'll usually use this more for beards and stuff, but you know, I'll just do it here for the benefit of you guys to see you have other options here. So for example, I want to get the gray hairs that he has, let's say in his temple area, right? So I could use this, and you can use a toothpick. I don't see my toothpick here, but I also got this other little tool here that got a real sharp point that'll work. Make sure that you got something to keep your hand from smearing here. And you can come in here and just kind of go like that. See that? Cool beans, huh? So you can do stuff like that. That's, you know, do it over here if you want. A little bit of, there you go. Look at that. I got a lot of charcoal there, so it would take a while to get underneath it. If I want to get something a little wider, there's a white area right there, but I want to get a little wider. See, I just got it a little lighter there. How about over here? You know, this area right here? I can see I could bring that out a little more. So you can do stuff like that. It's really cool. We got this one here. You know, and if you think, hey, it's a little bit too thick, you just go in there with your very sharp charcoal pencil and you thin that line out just like that. Well, there you go. That's how you would do that. Anyway, for this drawing, feeling pretty confident that this works just fine for me right now. See, it just picks it all up just fine, so no problem. Excuse me. Well, I got that lingering chest thing. Okay. So back to my EE pencil here. So what I want to do is I'm gauging, okay, how far is it from here? It comes down here. And I'm just really lightly moving down. Okay, just like so. Looking back and forth at my reference photo. And I'm starting to see, okay, I deviated somewhere here. Let's see, where's my problem? My problem is, let's see, the white hairs actually extend out to here up here. I'm going to go take care of that because I noticed there's a little distance problem here. And I want a little more perfection. So I'm going to get my mono here. Make sure I get those white hairs in there. There we go. A little, some right there. There's one right there. Want to get that in there. Okay. I want to tone that one down just a tad. All right. Yeah, gotta get it perfect. Okay, so let's see. We have from distance from here. There's one white hair about right there. And there's two of them, one here and one here. There we go. Okay. I feel better already. All right. Okay. Now, and now as I'm starting to bring this this EE pencil into the mix here, and I'm drawing this in, I could easily see that I need to go darker around it. Perfect. So this is going to allow me to go darker in my drawing still, which I always look for opportunities to go a little darker. Okay, there we go, and that stops about right there. Okay. And I'm going to just do a little bit of moving my pencil around in circles just to kind of blend it in a little more. And let's see, I don't want to use a tortillon because that's a little hard. This one here, make sure I don't have too much on there. I got quite a bit on there. I gotta take some of it off. I love using these paper blenders to do my drawing. A little pointier would be nice. Let me let me sharpen this thing a little bit. Get my X-Acto knife here, and I'm going to just shave some of this off. I don't normally do it right on top of my drawing, but I'm trying to just do this in the camera for you guys. So kind of some things are a little unorthodox, but see if I can clean this off. There we go. All right. Yeah, I think I got most of this. It's a little still too soft on the tip. So what I can do there, I've already got it to a point. So off camera here, I'm going to just kind of cut that tip off. There we go. Nice. Okay, now let's see. Put this X-Acto knife away before I hurt myself. All right, so it got me a nice little point on a clean blender. And I just want to kind of blend that in a little bit. And I'm noticing as soon as I'm doing this, it's getting lighter because it's gliding on top of that 10B graphite, so it's not staying on the paper as well. So I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to reapply. And get that in there. Keep looking back and forth at the reference. I want to make sure that I'm not starting to draw from memory. I'm drawing from what I see. That you have to be real careful not to draw from memory if you're trying to draw exactly what you see, you know, in your reference. Okay, and then that comes down a little. I'm going to take some pressure off here. Need to be a little lighter. Comes across like here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to come down here. See, this is that part where I need to kind of get in a little darker. I mentioned earlier. And I'm just moving my pencil around, just dodging around. It's kind of hard to describe. It's not the only way to do something, but it's just the way I feel comfortable moving my pencil around. And I could see immediately that I'm going to need to go darker right in here. All this area is going to have to get darker, which I am really glad is the case. I may have to go charcoal, but I'm going to try this EE for right now and see what happens. Yeah, I'm going to go charcoal here because I'm finding it a little difficult to really put down some good darkness here with this pencil. But I just want to get some of those creases in there. It's all in the details, folks, all in the details. When people are looking at your drawing and stuff, they're really focusing on that detail as far as the realism is concerned. They're like, yeah, hey, you know, that looks just like the photograph. And that's, you know, that's what you want to achieve, right? Okay. And if I'm off here, I'll be able to blend it out or erase, but I got to get something down here to get things going. Still going back and forth, looking at the reference. Look at the reference. Look at the negative space. I'm looking at the shapes between the dark areas, making sure that it looks like the photograph, and it helps me gauge the distances because I'm not drawing over any sketch marks like down here. So I have to actually go back and forth and make sure that I'm hitting those marks, those exact locations. I have a little lighter bridge going across here. I have a lighter, it's dark, but it's not as dark area here. I want to get that sharp, so I'm going to get the point of the pencil in there and then blend that into the surrounding area. I need to get really dark here, so I'm probably going to go charcoal with this right here because this is, I'm not able to get this as dark as I like. And this here, so real quick, let's get my charcoal pencil here. I want a really sweet one to use here, so I'm going to use I'm going to go ahead and use my Conte Paris Pure Noir 3B 1710. It's got a decent point on it right now. So I'm going to just see if I can get this a little darker. I'm sure I can with this pencil. This pencil will not disappoint. Yep, look at that. Get it in there. Yeah, get that darkness in there. There we go. And I need a little more darkness here. A little bit here. Oh yes, there we go. All right. And get some here. I'm going to blend this in so it'll look more natural, like, you know, what I see in the photo. But I want to get some of these dark areas in here for detail purposes, and so I don't lose where I am in the scheme of things. All right, get that in there. All right. Okay, it comes out here. This is all dark here. All right. Now this all has to get darker. I could see it already. As soon as you put the charcoal in here, then you can see that it made the areas next to it lighter, and then I look at the reference and I can see that the difference between the tone is less on the reference than it is here. So that tells me I can go darker in the skin. Now the last I did was 10B, and the 10B is definitely not enough. So I'm going to have to go a little bit more drastic there. Now up here, this is fine so far. I'm just going to kind of dab a little with my Pure Noir here, but I don't really want to get that dark for this area right here. I'm marking my territory like an Akita dog. All right, let's see. There's an area right here. Maybe I'll just see if I can get some benefit. Well, maybe it's a little too dark. I don't know. Let me try this here, see what happens. I'm just being really light with this, very careful with it because I don't want to go crazy. All right. Okay, I'm going to get this pencil out of my hand before I go nuts. Go back to my EE. So I can go darker here in this area, and I need to go darker. So what I'm going to do here is I could go with my 12B, which is extreme for most of you guys. Probably won't even have a 12B. But I'm not sure I'm going to get the darkness that I want. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Let me see here. I don't know. That's starting to look kind of neat. If I don't blend it out, if I blend it out, then I know I'm going to lose this. But let me see what happens here. So you can do a little experimenting while you're drawing. Nothing wrong with that. See if you can achieve what you see on the reference. Now here I see we got to go up here We got to go across here. And I'm not going to get that with that one. Let me try it with my EE pencil here. Yeah, it's easier with the EE pencil. Okay, we got that dark spot here. And then it kind of goes across here and it connects to this other planet right here. Okay. I was going to say Pluto, but they say Pluto's not a planet. They say it's kind of a moon, so we won't call it Pluto. I'm going to get some of that in there. I know that's going to get blended out. I'll have to put it back in later, but at least I get my little constellations in here. All right, let's get that in here like so. A little bit more shading out there because we don't want lines. Got to avoid the lines, okay? Lines are bad. No lines. All right, I'm going to get that in here like so. And see, I'm working on all these details in here, and I'm not even done with this forehead, and I'm already focusing on details. A lot of those get blended out, but at the same time, it gives me an idea of how dark the rest of this can go. It kind of tells me I may be a little light over here, but if I didn't have all this in here, I'd have no idea as to how dark I can go. And that's why I like to do this. And I also like to see things start to shape up. You know, I like to see the drawing start to take form. I get a little impatient seeing ugliness for too long. I want to see some realism, and I want it to tell me right off that, you know what, I'm going in the right direction. I'm doing everything right. That's good. That's what I want. I want some positive affirmations here. Okay, see, I already can tell that I need to go darker all around here. So I'm going to take this. This is the 12B woodless pencil here. This is one of the pencils that I used to draw the desert man. You know how his skin was so dark? I actually used these woodless pencils to do that. All right, see, I like this. This is starting to look pretty good. I'm going to add some white highlights in here in a moment. But I'm going to blend that out a little bit there, a little bit there. Okay, this is shaping up. I like this. This is really good. I'm going to make kind of a dark patch going up here like so. And a little dark patch up here like so. Yeah, there we go. Okay, don't want to go too crazy here. I'll start losing my marks. Let's see, how's that? That looks good. That looks good. Okay, now I got to blend this out a little bit so it's not so sharp. Go ahead and use this. I'm going to blend down so it's softer. Okay, see, now this area here is actually supposed to be the dark area here. And then as I come up, I'm supposed to lighten up a little bit. So I'm going to use my kneaded eraser here. Okay. And let's lighten up some areas here. All right, let's do that. Okay. A little bit too much here, so I just need to lighten that because I got to lighten up. Lighten up, Rix. There we go. Lighten up here. And let's see. That doesn't look too bad there, but I'll just gonna. Okay, so from here, this area here needs a little bit of these highlight dotted areas here. So there we go with that. Let me get in here like so. All right. Okay, I'm going to keep it like that for a while. That's looking kind of good there, but I need to darken the areas around it. Let's see, that should be okay. I'm going to do something about some of these white hairs being a little bit thicker than they need to be. Let me get some of those out of the way there. Thin that out. All right, there we go. Okay, good, 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 good. Just a little touch up as I go. Make it look like real hair instead of, you know, big old eraser lines. Definitely don't want that. Okay, so I'm kind of looking at the tone here, and I'm saying, okay, you know what? Flashing my eyes back and forth. I like this. It's pretty good. I could see there's some adjustments that need to be made, like right here. I could maybe lighten that spotty area up there just a little. And you know, yeah, I like that. That looks good. Let's see. Right here, this line really needs to curve a little more that way, and it's slightly thinner. Down here, I see a little tiny bit of highlight. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there before I forget. Just a little bit of highlight, not much. There we go. That's it. And let's see. Okay. There's a slight V, highlight V. I mean, it's not a highlight so much, but it's a lighter tone. And it's a V shape. I'm going to put that V shape in there. Just, you know, let me see if I can do this better with my, probably not, but I'll give it a shot here. Yeah, there we go. All right, and there's a ever slight lightness right there. I want to get that in there. You know, let's get really anal, Rick. Okay. Let's see, right here, right next to that dark spot is a light spot. I want to get that in there. Goes up a little higher. Okay, I can give a little higher. And let's see, right about here is another light spot. Yeah, okay. Now I know I need to go a little light on this line here, right up here. Okay, I want to lighten that up right under there. Let's see if I can do it without making an obvious mark. That would be good. Tap, I'll just do a little tap in here just to give it a light. That's a skin raise area there, see? So it catches some of the light, but it's not that much of a, looks like a blood vessel or something, you know, like the forehead blood vein or something. All right. Okay, all right. Now I think that's coming along really, really nice. I got to be careful with my brush here. Let's see if I can blow this. Did I get, oh, I got something on here. I don't want that on there. Come on, get off of there. All right. Okay, that's looking good. What's that? There. Oh, come on, get off. There we go. All right, let's see. There was a dot right here. It's almost gone. Make sure I don't lose that. Let's see. We have some lightness here, and I can already see that I have my dots in the wrong spot here. So let me do some checking here because something's not right. Using this again. I'm going to go from the side of the head out to... No, I put that in the right spot. So what did I do wrong? Let me see here. Where's that light area there? Something's not right. Oh, darn. All right, I see my mistake already. See, I already made a mistake here. Most people probably won't catch it. Looking at the drawing, they're going to have no idea where that mark is. However, I use these marks to guide me, and I'm too far off here. And because I put it on lightly, look at that. It comes off really easy. I need to put that mark. Where's that EE pencil? I need it right here. That's where I need it. I thought that was a little off. So get that in there like so. And I'm a happy camper. There we go. Okay, I need that to be right on. If one thing is off, everything goes off. I don't want that to happen. And then we got some dark shading going up here. That's fine. And lightness right up here is lighter. I'll just tap with my mono. That works like a kneaded eraser sometimes. You know, you just tap, tap, tap. You can see how it lightens that area, right? And then I'm going to come in here with my Q-tip and knock it down. Just knock it down, this silly little beast. All right, there. Get that in there. All right, good, 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 good. Excuse me. All right, well, this is really coming out nice. I'm really happy with this forehead so far. It's starting to look just like the reference photo. And I'm going to start moving on now over to this area here. And it's much lighter over here. This is the part that I'm a little concerned about because on the reference, it's very, very bright. And you don't want to draw a very bright drawing there. And I can see this doesn't go here. This has got to come over to here. And that was drawn wrong. Let me get that little end off of it there. There we go. And let's see what we got here. Comes in like so. Comes around, circles here. Okay, so this is light around this mark of the head here. So I'm going to lighten that up a little bit. But not too much because I'm not going to be able to get the skin darker anywhere else if I lighten this up too much. Just try to get this to look like the reference photo. You know, and the thing too is on a reference photo, things are kind of like you got black and white and then in between, you know. But graphite isn't really the same color as a black and white photo. Graphite has a more of a washed out graphite look. So you have to kind of like play with it to make sure that you're getting the right tone. Now see, all this around here is actually a little lighter. So I want to get that in there, but I don't want to go too light. And I'm going to probably end up adding most of this back in again to my chagrin. Hey, it rhymes. Back in again to my chagrin. All right. I'm a poet and didn't know it. Okay. I want to make sure I keep that blotchiness in there because that is actually what I see in the reference. All right. Okay, now let me see what we got here. I'm going to have to go a little darker here, but just a little, because this is white of the paper, and this is a really white paper. And over here on the drawing, or on the reference photo, it's not white. It's here. Let me do this. Let me grab my tone card here, grayscale card. Now see that this is white, or kind of white, but I need to come over here and find out where I am So let's see. It's darker than white, and that's darker than that, and okay, and I'm squinting. I have to squint my eyes because I'm kind of tone blind, believe it or not. Let's see. All right. Okay, this one here is what it seems like to be more to me. Is this value 8 right here. So I could squint my eyes here, and I could see that this is lighter than here. So I'm going to go a little darker here just to get to here. So, and hopefully I saw that right. So let's see. I'm going to go with a 2H. It's a very light pencil. And that way I can't go too dark initially. And then if I have to go darker, I will. So let me just see if that 2H will go any darker here. I'm sorry I'm coughing, folks, but I still have that. It's just what's left over from a lung infection I had. Your lungs get a little sore and dry, and you get that dry hack. All right, that's good there. Get that little blotch out of there. I don't like that. All right, so let's go. Let's see if the 2H is going to give me what I want here. Small little circles. Just small little circles. Have your kneaded eraser ready with a little point on it to pick up little areas that you didn't mean to put on there, like that little circle there. I don't want that in there. It's like, what in the world is that? Okay. And let me fill that in there a little bit. All right, so I have lots of control over my pencil, holding it on the back of here and sliding it along the side of the pencil. And you just want to get that graphite to just apply as light as possible so you can take it off. I think that's working pretty good. And already I'm starting to see some things here. Let's see. I need to lighten this area up here on the other side of this dark mark. And I notice I need to lighten up right next to this dark mold looking thing here, this birthmark. There we go. It's not drastic, it's all just minor. Again, this is a 2H pencil. And you know, I have this really weird dark mark here. I got to get this out because this is throwing me off here. That shouldn't be there. Got to get that off. Let's see. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, it's kind of right here. Okay, right here. All right, good. Let's see. Looking back and forth, and I don't like this right here. Take that out, get it out of there for right now. That doesn't go in there. And okay, there we go. Now, Just little circles like this. You know, you're making these little oval circles. That's all I'm doing. Everybody has their own way of doing things. That's the way I'm doing it. It leaves a nice skin texture, I think. Not smooth. I don't want smooth. If I want a smooth skin texture, I'm going to do more of a stroke like this and just keep each side close to each other. Okay, where I come down from the top and then I lift off in the bottom, and see, it makes smooth. This little oval, like just make these little ovals like this. See, there's a little skin texture there because you got some have little holes in them there that you don't actually catch. And that's the way I like for human skin, especially guys, when I'm drawing a guy's face, you know. I need that roughness. Because we are rough. We got to be rough. We men. All right, here. Testosterone. The San Francisco treat. All right, here. Testosterone. Okay, right there. Yeah, see, I could see exactly where I need to go using this approach. Just everywhere is a white patch. I'm just going to go after it there. Make sure that I get that. I don't want white paper showing. Okay, I want some tone here, and I want a light tone. Get that in there. Okay, good. And when I go all the way across, I know, now see, I've already gone darker here, which is kind of cool because I can see the 2H is not as dark as this. So I'm already halfway done with the other side of the forehead. So the 2H does look like it's going to do the trick for me here. So far, anyway. I'll check it with my grayscale thing again, just for giggles. But as long as when I'm eyeing this, it looks good to me, I'm going to be happy with it. All right. And get all that white paper covered there with these little ovals. All right. There we go. I want to make sure my client is real nice and happy with this portrait here. Let's get it all nice. You know, I get these requests like, hey, make sure that you don't show the food in the teeth. Yeah, I won't show the food in the teeth. Don't worry about it. That's an easy request to fill. All right. Okay, so I've covered the forehead pretty good here. Just even out the white blotches, and then I'll come in and take out or add in as I need to. But I want to get this base tone down. I'm glad I was able to get a little darker here. I needed to go darker. I didn't like how light it was. I find that light drawings are not as realistic as darker ones. Not as photorealistic anyway. Look at that. See that skin texture? You know, it's like skin. I mean, you know, people don't have this smooth, you know, they have this slight texture to their appearance. All right. All right. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate that. Okay. Now I can see as I'm doing that, I'm going, okay, touch up time. Right along the hair here, I see that I need to come in with a little bit of fuzzies, little light fuzzies. I'm going to use this extra hard charcoal from Generals and just kind of come in here a little bit. It's got to be slightly diffused and blurry here coming out of the skull, you know, and some of that is also, you got to remember, some of that is not hair but is shadow. Okay, so I want to make sure that I don't get the two confused. I just get a little bit in there just because I want that realism. Okay, here we go. I'm going to pull some hair away from the forehead into the head there, or into the hair. And then I noticed that, hey, he's got some grays right about here. Now this is probably going to be too thick. So, hey, I found my toothpick. There it is. All right, so let me just get in here real quick before I get back on the forehead. But I want to get some of this here. Okay, I'm going to have to fix that in a second, but okay, that's not going to work. I'll go back to this thing. There we go. All right, now I need to darken that in because I exposed too much. So get my Primo here, and this has got to darken in here. Right there. Okay. Yeah, get that in there like so. Okay. All right. Awesome. Now get my 2H pencil, get back in here and get that darkened up right on the edge there. There we go. Okay, very good. Let's see. I like the texture of the skin. I see mini drawings, little tiny mini drawings, where the skin looks as smooth as porcelain and it just doesn't look realistic. That's true. Oh, many, not many, not many. Many, not many. All right. Alicia. Okay, now I can see, now that I'm darker here with my 2H, I want a little bit more about right here. It's nice and dark here, but let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, yeah, it needs to be a little bit darker here. So I'm just going to go the next one up. So if this is 2H, I'm going to go HB. And I'm going to move up a little bit and see what happens here. So with my HB, get some of that in there. Okay, a little shadow part here. Okay, here. I have no idea what this is that I'm drawing here that's on his face, but I got to draw it. I don't know what that is. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's see. A little bit here. Something here. I don't. No, no, right here. See right there. Shape like so. End up blending this all out in a minute. I'm putting in every mark I see, and then I'm going to blend it down. It's got to look natural. And I'm not using any pressure whatsoever, okay? I am just skating real light across the top of this just to give it a slight darker tone than this area here. That's all I want to do. I don't want it to be drastic because it's not that drastic in the photograph, but I can see a difference. And it could be the lighting, the camera, the lens, whatever, but I have to draw what I see. So if I see it, I'm going to draw it, but there we go. Okay, and now I'm going to smooth it out very lightly. I'm just gliding this on here, okay? Just gliding this on here. Okay. Be careful not to pick up any of that charcoal that's already on that hair there. That's one of the things I worry about putting the hair in so quick is I have to get close to it. And all right, see, and that makes it a little more natural right there. Look at that. Okay. All right. No porcelain skin for me. Okay. Should get his other eyebrow in there. That'd probably help me out a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go through here and make sure everything blends to the neighbor real well. You know, you get that gradient. Everything just blends in to the neighbor. Nice smooth transition from dark to light. Right. Now see, as I'm yapping to you guys, this is exactly what goes on in my head when I'm drawing. So now you know why I'm so screwed up. All right. Okay, and go through here. This is a clean cue. I went and got a clean one because I just want to get everything all nice and transitional. I want everything to transition really nice. Okay, this needs to be a little darker here. I'll use my Q-tip to see if I can just kind of gradually do that with a Q-tip, which looks like that works just fine. Okay, come out here, and I see already I need to deal with this little puppy right there. Okay, so I'm going to go around it and take that dark spot out from on the other side of it right there. Yes, sirree. You can't hide from me. All right, there we go. Yes. And where's that extra hard charcoal? Let me see if I can just accent some of this dark spot here. Oh, I love it. That looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. Now, what about here? What do I need here? Maybe gotta watch out. I don't want to get crazy here, but I think this looks pretty good as it is. But all right, that looks real. Yeah, love it. There we go. So you get a nice little dark spot right about here. Okay. Details, details, details. See, I don't always wait until I'm finished with a drawing to get details. I'll just do details as I'm on my, as I go about my drawing, and I see, you know what, I could add a little something here, and I can add a little something there. And I'm gonna get a little darker here. Let's see how dark I can get with this pencil here. And I'm not pressing into the paper. I'm skating very lightly on here because I want to control the tone. You can go, like I'll show you right here. Okay, with let's say this extra hard charcoal. I mean, I can come in here and I can just draw this very light. See, very light, but then I can press a little bit more. And then maybe press a little bit more. And then I can go extreme. Look at all those different shades I got, all with just the pressure of a pencil. So when I'm over here, I'm just lightly skating across the top here. And then when I see there's a dark spot, I might want to put it in. I go a little bit like that, and you know. All right. Okay, I think for now that I think I've got that to where I want it. I gotta be careful I don't take too much off here. No snow over here. It's just mildly cold. It's I don't know, maybe 40, 50 degrees. It's, I live in the south, so it's not going to be that cold. We usually get snow about this time, but this has been a mild fall. We just entered winter, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, we get snow every year, but we don't have any right now. Fortunately, I have a 4x4 I can get around. Looking back and forth, back and forth. You got to keep doing this. And it just shows you the spots you want to touch up on. And I'm going to have to come back to this because as the rest of the drawing, takes shape, you're going to find that you're too light in some areas, too dark in others. It's always tough when you don't have something next to it to reference with. This is just a tissue with, it doesn't have oils or anything on this tissue, but I want to just kind of get a nice light blend here. A little bit off there, okay. All right, well, I think that's a spanking good looking forehead. I don't know how it looks to you guys off of a cam, but I'm thinking that forehead looks pretty good from my perspective here using my light. I think it's very realistic. I think the hair is realistic to the forehead. I'm very pleased with all this right here so far. I can see I need to go a little lighter here. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit. Um, hey guys and gals. So from your perspective, how's the camera projecting this for you? I can't really tell, but it looks pretty good to me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm doing it faster. I kind of thought I was taking my sweet time, but huh, I don't know. I got my EE again here. I'm gonna get away from the forehead now, and I'm gonna work on this ear. This poor ear has just been sitting here waiting for me, and I want to see if I can make sure that I get the shapes right and everything. Okay, so this here, this all has to be dark here, and I'm doing this lightly again. But a lot of this charcoal needs to go further, but I didn't want to get too much on the ear right away. So this all is going to be dark here. All this is going to be dark through here. And then it's going to get dark right here. And this is going to actually come out very thin light area here. So I'm going to kind of draw this in with my EE here. Okay. This is going to be a thin sliver of skin showing here. And then this is all going to be shaded to about here. This is all going to be darkened in here. I'm going to go ahead and just mark it. And let's see. Okay, then there's this lobe area right. So this is going to come out like here, like so. And down to here. And go around to here. Okay, and then this is going to come up here. There's going to be some shading here. Look at the negative space here and here. And negative space here and here. Okay. And let's see, this area down here is really dark. This is going to be dark. Now this has got to be all darkened in here. Right there. I got to make sure that gets some charcoal later on, so I'll just mark that in right now. And that's going to come up to here. Shade here. Okay, this is all going to be dark here. And all dark here. It comes around to here. So I got this area right. Let's see how far that's going to go. Let me go and use my my proportional divider and make sure that I get that right. So it's actually going to come down to there. Okay, so that's all going to be shaded area right there to there. Okay, that's all shaded area. Okay. And then it comes out to here. And that's going to be dark here. And this, now the background of this reference is black here. So this is kind of going to be a little different because I'm leaving this area white. So let's see, we need we need the opening there, and we need the opening there. So let me change that. A little bit of opening here. Okay, so it'll be about right there. And then the lobe, bottom of the lobe is going to be right there. All right, so that's about it there. Okay, the rest of it kind of blends into the dark. And then I got to get that shaped. So let's see, this is all going to be dark here. So I'm going to get my charcoal pencil and fix that there. And that should, something here. Just there. Okay, this doesn't, this is straighter. So I didn't trace that puppy there. I didn't draw it right. Okay, let me get a 4H, no, 2H will do it. Okay, so I need to come down here like so to here, up to here, and then I need to cover that. I need to cover that with charcoal. Right here's got to be covered with charcoal. So let me get my Primo here, and let me get that in there. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to end up darkening all this with charcoal here, and then blending it so it's more shadowed. And it shouldn't be hair, it's shadow. But it's just in such a dark area that you can't really tell the difference. But I'll just shade it, and using my paper blender, I'll get that shaded in a little better. And then this area here, I'll just put a little bit of charcoal there, and then I'll blend it out later. Just need to get something started here and get my bearings as to where this ear is. And then here's a little bit here. I'll just put a little bit of charcoal that I can work with later with my blender. And this is going to be interesting here. So this is all going to be blended. This is all blended. Here. Here. Okay, over here, negative space here. Okay. All right. Okay. I think I got the right shape here. And just to make sure I don't lose this other thing, I'm going to use my 10B for this graphite. This is going to have to be a graphite ear here. And I'm feathering the graphite. I'm not drawing a line, okay? I'm feathering here. My original sketch before I started is a line, but I got to feather this. I'm going to blend it in to the lobe with a tortillon when I get further into this ear. Okay, I don't want to play with this right now because it's time for, oh yeah, I'm heading into my lunch period. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop right there, and maybe I'll come back on later on tonight for another live session. It all depends. I don't know what's going on today. But, you know, it's just me and the missus hanging out. So, anyway. Okay. I'm drawing both. There she is, right there. But I'm starting with him because I draw from the left to the right. Okay, what does Santa do with fat elves? He sends them to the elf farm. Elf farm. I don't get it. I don't get it. I didn't get it. Sorry, I didn't get the joke. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'll have to check out her work. I must have missed a comment there. I don't know whose work it is. She draws huge drawings. Oh, Health Farm. Okay, I got it. Okay. It's midnight in India. Hey, well, I appreciate you dropping in to watch, Dharmesh. The UK, it's mild and rainy. Isn't it always raining in the UK? Let's see. See if I catch you guys here, what you were talking about while I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. There's an artist called J.D. Palma, and her name's Jay? What's that guy's name? Does skin smooth and on purpose. It looks good on the drawings of female actresses. Have a look. Yeah, women always look good with smooth skin, you know. So, but guys not so much unless, you know, unless they want to look more female-ish. You had a boiling summer. Okay. Which is that orange pencil? That's the General's charcoal. It's a 2H. It's an extra hard pencil, so I'll use this for fine lines and stuff. You know, flyaways on dark hair. Gonna blur this a little bit. Good for your some little shadows here. You know. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking this is starting to look pretty good. Okay, are there any questions before I sign off, folks? Anything? Because I'm going to, well, thanks for stopping by and watching, dropping in. Okay, very good. Well, I don't see any other questions. Guys, enjoy your days off if you have any. Okay. I appreciate the holiday wishes and everything. I don't celebrate it, so I don't wish it back because I don't celebrate it. Sorry. But thank you anyway. I appreciate that. Okay. No problem. But you guys have a great time. Enjoy your time off. I hope you learned some. If you have any questions, no, I don't take offense. Everybody, you know, we all do our own thing, right? Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, peeps. And I'll see you a little later. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay. Now that's looking pretty good. All right. Take care, everybody. Uh-oh. 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 Uh-oh.